Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Cassidy Car Cave. Today we're going to try to bring this 1994 SL600 back to life. But first, this. Okay, so those of you that saw my last video on this car, I bought this car maybe 2 weeks ago from a fellow over in North Carolina that had it. And he was very honest when he sold it and said, hey, look, it's a pretty good car. It's only got 62,000 miles on it, but it does have a problem. It doesn't run. The wiring harness on the top part of the engine on this has deteriorated almost into nothing. I'll show you in a second. But common flaw in these mid-90s Mercedes, especially the SLs, you know, they built this wiring harness to try to make it so it wouldn't corrode the earth forever, but unfortunately it didn't last with the car. The cars lasted a lot longer than the harnesses. And in this case, the car just won't run anymore because all the wires are crossed up and none of the information is getting through to the engine where it needs to. So I've got a new wiring harness. We're going to try to put that on today and see if we can't get this car running. Although even once it's running, it's going to need a few other little things, I'm sure. So let's take a quick look at the harness. I'll show you what I'm talking about, and then we'll get right started on getting it fixed. So the main harness is this one here. Just comes off the main engine ECU down to each cylinder, fires the spark plugs the whole bit. A couple of connectors for the camshaft on both sides, and then as well as the air conditioner and coolant and such, just to make sure that the engine has all the information that it needs. So the problem with this one, let's see if I can put it on here. I'm going to put you right there. I'll get this pick. Through the magic of YouTube, I now have gloves on, and you can keep track of how many days this actually takes me to fix by seeing which shirt I'm wearing. I've got my Hoovy shirt on now. Let's see. If I still have it on when it's done, that means I had some success. But you can see the wires for the harness are they're gone. The plastic that is supposed to be around them is just flaking right off, and the copper's exposed, and you know, these wires that go to various important things in the engine are just completely exposed. It's just disintegrating. Every time I touch it, more comes off. So obviously, you know, no electrical current's going to get through that in a way that's productive. So I've got the battery disconnected. Make sure you do that. And we're going to start taking this one off, and then we'll put our nice shiny new harness back on that has actual plastic that will last for a while. And hopefully we'll get this car back on the road. So doesn't look too bad. I've got my handy dandy star diagnostic set up over here. So we're going to go through just the procedure on getting this off. Kind of do it step by step on this one, but you know me, I'm not going to do exact everything. We'll bounce through it. You'll be able to follow along with the video. If this happens on your car, you can probably get through this. It's not that bad. Most of it's just connections. This is a common occurrence on a lot of these Mercedes, so it's not just the S600. Really, the R29s, the SL500s, the SL320s. I've got an E320 over there, the E320 Cabriolet from '95, that I haven't had any trouble yet with the harness. I'll need to look and see if it's been replaced, because if it hasn't, it's just a ticking time bomb. Sooner or later, it's going to go off. But let's get started on this one, see if we can't get this car at least running, and then we'll figure out the other stuff from there. Okay, first step is to remove some trim panels. I think some of mine have already been taken off because all of this is missing. Hopefully I'll find it maybe in the trunk or somewhere. But this one here and this one here both need to come off. There's a little tiny 10mm nut that holds this one on down here that I've removed. So if we can pull that out of here. Gently, we're trying not to break. Whoa, poor you guys. Okay, almost lost you there. Trying not to break 20-year-old plastic here. Okay, it's one trim piece. All right, got a Phillips head screw on this cover here we're going to take off. Try not to lose. What do you think? Am I going to need to replace that vacuum line while I'm here? Careful. Okay. And let's take off this weather stripping here. Okay, this is the main connector for the engine harness here. So these are fairly simple. They do a lot of the work for you. You just pull this tab back and hit unplugs it. Make sure you get a good click and just pop it off there. There we go. A lot of pins, a lot of connectors. Definitely want to keep this area clean and dry. Okay, we're going to take this piece out that has the cable going through it. There's like a grommet that goes through there. Got two 8mm bolts here, one on either side. Take those off and hopefully we can get this heat shield out of the way. One and two. One more down here. Try not to lose my screws. Two screws. All right, that'll be enough to get to what we need to get to. Let's show you on the other side. Feed this through, try to keep some of our clips. Probably lose that. Off. All right, that's our cable disconnected then. Now we just need to disconnect all these little connectors down here and we can pull this harness out. All right, YouTube, I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of these clips are pretty difficult to get off. They're not firmly attached, they're just hard to access, particularly the ones back in the very back of the engine. You're gonna need two things. You're gonna need a long flat screwdriver and really a pair of needle nose that's curved like this, or these surgical instruments would be great, forceps, whatever they are. And you can kind of work both sides of it and get them off. But the ones that are easy to reach, no problem at all. You can pop them on and off with just the forceps here. But some of them you do definitely need a longer reach. So I'm just gonna kind of fast forward through this part. You can watch me do it on the video, but it is difficult to read some of them. Okay, let's pull this thing out of here and see if we've got anything still attached. We've got a vacuum line on the bottom. Okay, I think it's going to be easier just to take this vacuum line off. It's a 20mm for that brake booster line. We'll just pull it off there instead of breaking our vacuum line. Probably a washer under there we don't want to lose. Yep. Yeah, it seems fairly attached. Let's hope we don't lose it. Reattach for now. If my brakes don't work later, maybe I'll remember that that's not attached all the way. And there we go. All right, there we go. One wiring harness. It's a shame Mercedes tried to do this. It's a noble cause, but do you really think they were trying to save the environment? I have a sneaking suspicion that it was an effort to save money. But who knows? All right. So you know how I do, right? The install, I'm sure, is just the reverse of how we got it out of there. I will go through that process. If anything comes up, I will let you know if it's different. And then I'll be back in a bit to try to turn this thing and see if it starts. Okay. Okay, our harness is back connected. All the plugs are in. We heard good clicks and everything when we put it down. I replaced this melted vacuum line with just a quick fix here. I don't expect this thing to run very good because we got a lot of unmetered air coming into the intake over there, but the battery is charged. The harness is connected. Let's see if this sucker fires up. This is always the scary part. All right, YouTube, share this moment with me. Here we go. Yes! It's alive! Woohoo! 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 Yes! Same shirt, same shirt. Okay, it's moving, things are happening. I don't expect it to idle that great, and it's not, but I don't see anything on fire either. Very nice. I don't see anything blasting out. Very nice, so far so good. Dare I let this thing run for a while and kind of heat up. Oh boy. All right, let's I give you almost 400 horsepower of 12-cylinder 48 valve Mercedes Magic from 1994. So far so good. I'm always worried that a coolant line's gonna blow or something, you know, horrific is gonna happen. Something more horrific than the suspension not raising up. I can figure that out later. I've messed around with the suspension of these enough. All right, YouTube. So that's it for now. There's gonna be a lot more projects to do in this car. Obviously, we gotta get these intake leaks fixed. I gotta get the suspension up. But for right now, we have a running SL600. So thank you very much. Catch you on the next video.